In 1869, Catherine McCarty traveled to Wichita, Kansas, with her two sons, Henry and Joseph, alongside her future husband, William Antrim, seeking new opportunities on the American frontier. In 1870, traveling from Indiana to Wichita, Kansas, involved navigating key wagon routes and typically took between 6 weeks to 3 months. Starting in Indianapolis, travelers used the National Road, Cumberland Road, to reach Vandalia, Illinois. From there, the Vandalia Road led them west to St. Louis, Missouri, a critical crossing point over the Mississippi River. Once across the river, they joined the Santa Fe Trail, a significant and well-documented route stretching from Missouri to New Mexico. Travelers typically connected to this trail at Independence, Missouri, and followed it across the Kansas plains. The journey required careful planning for supplies and resupply points, and maintaining the health of both people and animals was crucial. Forming wagon trains provided mutual protection. This period signifies a new chapter in the life of Henry McCarty, who would ultimately be known as the notorious outlaw Billy the Kid. Welcome to Part 3, the early years. Wichita sprang up from a popular trading post in the early 1860s on the Arkansas River, giving travelers a place to purchase or exchange goods for needed supplies. In 1869, the government opened the Osage Indian Trust lands in Kansas to the general public for homesteading. Was this why Catherine and William came here? For the 160-acre quarter sections? Since the Osage Trust land was not owned by the government, ownership remained with the Osage. The land was never public and therefore did not qualify for Homestead Act provisions. In 1870, Catherine McCarty and William Antrim relocated to Wichita, Kansas, joining the wave of settlers seeking prosperity in the expanding American West. On July 21, 1870, Catherine McCarty made history by becoming the sole female signatory among 124 petitioners requesting Judge Reuben Riggs of Sedgwick County to incorporate Wichita as a town. Her signature was followed by that of William Antrim, her future husband. This act of civic engagement not only demonstrated Catherine's progressive involvement in local affairs, but also marked a significant milestone in Wichita's development. Judge Riggs approved the petition, officially establishing Wichita as an incorporated town. About 2 months after the incorporation of Wichita, Catherine purchases her first property in town. The deed was signed on September 12th and recorded later on October 1st, 1870. Lot 48, Chisholm Street, town of Wichita, from A.F. and Maria Horner for the consideration of $500. To find this lot, I had to consult Munger's original town maps from before 1887. Sometime after 1882, 2 street names were changed. Chisholm Street became Market Street, and Court Street became Main Street. Chisholm Street is now Market Street, and Court Street is now Main Street. Here's the location of Lot 48 Market Street, Greifenstein's original town edition. The property address is 201 East 1st Street. It's currently a parking lot. Catherine purchased this lot together with Lot 48. The grantor was Darius Sales Munger and Julia Munger. Mr. Munger was appointed Justice of the Peace. In May 1870, Lot 50, Chisholm Street, town of Wichita, for the sum of $1. Consideration on a deed does not reflect the actual purchase price. About 3 months later, on February 9th, another lot was purchased by William H. Antrim. Lot 54, Chisholm Street, town of Wichita, from James R. Meade, one of the founders of Wichita, Kansas, and state legislator. Antrim paid $500 in consideration. This lot 2 lots north of Catherine's. Antrim purchased another lot that was recorded the same date as his other lot on February 23, 1871, for consideration of unknown amount from Darius Sales Munger Lot 70, Chisholm Street, town of Wichita. The agreement was signed February 4, 1871. The amount is not readable. Turns out the missing piece wasn't an amount at all, but the words "the sum of" was worn away. But again, we find another contract from grantor Darius Salesmonger with the consideration of $1. Only mistake was listing dollars, plural and not singular. Wednesday, 15th of March, 1871. Advertisement for Catherine McCarty's laundry services appearing in the Wichita Tribune. Unclear if she paid for the ad or it was a mention by the editor. As I mentioned in part 2 that there was a city laundry in Indianapolis a few blocks from her home. Did she get the idea for the naming the business there? Or was it the other city-named businesses in Wichita, like the City Drugstore and the City Bakery? Please note the published dates, Catherine's are earlier, so maybe, just maybe, her laundry business was so successful, causing other merchants to copy. About a month later, on March 27, 1871, Catherine McCarty purchases 160 acres northwest, 1/4 of Section 12, Township 27 South, Range 1 East for the consideration of $200. The chattel attachments to the land is the following: 1 iron gray mare named Fanchen, 8 years old, 1 bay horse named Macy, 7 years old, 1 pair of matched sorrel horses, 8 years old, named Reel and Sam, 1 brown horse, 9 years old, named Brown, 1 pair of brown-colored mules named Jack and Dick, 1 pair of mouse-colored mules named Kate and Jenny, 1 mowing machine and rake, Ball's patent, 1 3 1/2 inch thimble, Skine Bain wagon, 1 3 1/2 inch thimble, Skine Jackson wagon, 2 sets of wheel harnesses and 2 sets of swing harnesses, 1 sporting rifle, 1 watch and 1 chain, 20 head of hogs, more or less 8 cows, 6 2-year-olds, 12 yearlings, and 2 yoke of work cattle. 3 months later, on June 24, 1871, Antrim purchased his own 160-acre plot of land, located catty-corner to the northeast of Catherine's property. The land is described as the southeast quarter of Section 1, Township 27 South, Range 1 East. Here's both properties seen together. Catherine's is the southern plot. It's 4 1/2 miles as the crow flies to Catherine's Laundry on Market Street. Young Henry may have been a farmhand for his mother in Antrim. It's a perfect situation with a slew of horses to ride. Maybe he even practiced with the sporting rifle? Only 4 days after Antrim purchased his parcel, Catherine sells her acreage, but no mention of chattel in the transaction. Horses, cows, barns, etc. Did they have it planned out? Did she transfer all her animals and wagons to Antrim's acreage? On the same date above June 28, 1871, Antrim transfers his 3 lots he purchased only 4 months prior into Catherine McCarty's ownership. Lots 54, 70, Chisholm Street, now Market Street, and building lot 75, Court Street, now Main Street, town of Wichita. This is the final sale of Catherine's properties. This mortgage is intended as a mortgage to secure the payment of the sum of $600 on the 26th day of September, 1871, and an additional sum of $600 on the 26th day of November, 1871, with a total of $1,245. Seems a little short from original price valued at $2,500. With last payment in November, might be a bad time to start the Santa Fe Trail. I'm sure they worked this farm for a year at least. It's interesting, but Antrim never sold his acreage until 1919, 10 years before his death. Why didn't he sell his farm? Did he lease it out for over 38 years? If you found this informative and want to learn more about Billy the Kid, I encourage you to subscribe to the series, and thanks for watching.
Hi, I'm Billy the Kid. If you ever wanted to know about the history of White Oaks, New Mexico, I've got you covered. The site is whiteoaksnewmexicogoldrush.com.